Okay, this segment of the orientation focused on what it actually means to succeed in college, and the goal of this and the information that I'm going to share was really to motivate students to do well right from the start. You're going to see some information on how important it is to have strong grades. They don't have to be all A's, but the stronger the better. And so again, the goal of this section is to motivate students to want to do well. And so here we go. Students were asked to think about what it means to succeed in college, and to actually, we gave them a minute or two to picture themselves 3 years from now when their middle college experience will be over. And it actually goes pretty quickly. And they shared some ideas, and here's a list of things that were mentioned or could have been mentioned. Certainly a lot of people talked about wanting to complete an associate degree at the end of their time, and that's an awesome goal and a very achievable goal, but it does take planning and succeeding class by class. We also talked about ending with a strong grade point average that might help students get into future universities or jobs. You certainly, when an employer looks at your transcript from college, they want to see that you did well in your college courses to prepare you for that job. This is one that I added. Most students at the beginning of the program don't talk about this, but students who've been through the program talk about enjoying their time in a club or organization, so that can be evidence of success. Maybe you've met and developed a relationship with one or more of your college instructors that they can kind of mentor you in a particular field or towards a career path. And then just being able to balance work, studies, in some cases athletics through 11th and 12th grade, that's something to be proud of. And when you look back and say, man, I was busy, but I made it all work, that's a great accomplishment. So that can be an indicator of success. And certainly we hope that it's enjoyable and in some cases fun. You meet new people. There's going to be work and homework and so on, but hopefully you'll like coming to the college campus. And usually that's because of who you see and who you interact with on campus. So a couple of slides on completing a degree. So here's what you need to think about if that's one of the goals, and I assume it is for virtually all our students. It requires planning. We've talked about that and all the help available. Plans can change, but you want to change them intentionally, not just because your friend is switching to criminal justice, therefore you will. You want to have a reason. I now know more about this career and I didn't before, and so I'm going to shift over to that. You want to know how the change affects progress towards your degree, because it may set you back a few classes. It may mean that you can't finish your degree as a Blue Water middle college student. You might have to extend your time at SC4. Get help planning, so meet with either a middle college or an SC4 advisor, and we'll start working with you on planning for your degree as early as this fall, September and October, during the success sessions. That's why those are so important to get to. You want to stick to your plan if at all possible and pass the classes. So you don't want to fail classes, withdraw from classes, because suddenly your plan starts to fall apart. So make sure you stick to it, and as I said, more on this this fall. So now positively, in terms of grades and your grade point average, I want to share some things about the impact of your grades. First of all, on earning your SC4 degree. Now you'll see there's an asterisk there, and that means if you look at the bottom, it says a student must maintain a 2.0 or higher cumulative GPA to earn your degree. So it doesn't mean every class has to be a C or better, but overall the average GPA has to be a 2.0 or has to be a C average or better. Most of our students are significantly above that, but we have some that fall below a 2.0, and they just, even though they've taken all the classes, they might have passed all the classes, but their grade point is too low for the college to issue the degree. The impact of your grades, I mentioned a couple of minutes ago, on your transcripts and acceptance into other colleges and programs, and also jobs in the future. Again, many jobs require you to submit your transcript, and you don't want to be embarrassed or worry every time you do that because you've got a bunch of C's and D's on your college transcript. So you want to start strong, keep it strong. You'll see that asterisk show up again when we talk about credit transfer. College classes won't transfer from one school to another with a grade less than C. So that C grade is kind of a magic number. Okay, you can pass a class with a D minus, most classes, but that class won't transfer. So you want to work hard, keep the grade at least at a C level, if not A or B, and then it's more likely to transfer to a university. Even SC4 classes, if your overall grade point drops below a 2.0, even if it's just after your very first semester, you'll be placed on academic warning. If it doesn't go above 2.0, you won't be able to take SC4 classes the next semester, so you'll be suspended. And then this is down the road a little bit, but again, with a 2.0 less than, or less grade point, you won't qualify for financial aid. So if you do need to take classes on your own, you're going to have to pay up front for those classes. You won't be able to qualify for most student loans or grants. Okay, so grades are important. Here's a little more information on that for students looking to transfer on to a university. Here's some typical four-year schools in Michigan. Michigan State says that their high school GPA for the middle 50% of their 2016 freshmen was in the 3.5, 3.6, 3.7 range. Doesn't mean you have to be a 3.5, but most students were in that range. And if your high school grade point average, now this is high school grade point, if it's near 3.0, then you're really going to have a strong SAT score and maybe, or a really strong college grade point average to help you get into state. Central Michigan's average GPA was about a 3.3, and Oakland University, their average of incoming freshmen was about a 3.2. Again, those are high school averages. But a lot of times, Blue Water Middle College students, their college GPA is just about the same, or some cases even better than their high school GPA. Okay, a little bit about your transcript. This is, if you look at the overall, this is half of a transcript, and it looks at 9th grade and 10th grade right here. It's all high school classes, of course. And now this, we jump down to the bottom of the transcript. This is a student that's completed. You'll see in grade 11 they now have a C column, and those are college classes. So I want you to be aware that your college classes go on to your high school transcript, and those grades influence your high school GPA. So don't think, oh, this is college, this doesn't matter. It does. They all come together onto your one high school transcript. Okay. And as it says at the bottom, your final high school grade point includes college grades. All right, and then this is the second page for a student that's completed. They've gone through that grade 13, and you'll see that's all college. The column says C1, C2 for the first and second semester. Those are all college courses, but they appear as high school courses. Now you will be creating a whole nother college transcript. We'll talk about that in future years, but those same classes are going to be on an SC4 transcript, which have the number of credit hours and so on. So it's a lot more detailed when it comes to your college courses. Okay, so start strong, especially this first year. You'll be taking some introductory classes. Everyone's taking College Success, SD 140. Many students are taking Speech or Political Science 101. These are lower level courses, introductory courses, and you should take advantage of that to get a strong grade. Start strong. You're only taking 2 college classes per semester, which again, it's a little bit easier load. Now you still are taking 4 high school classes, so it's not like you're not going to be busy, but now's the time to build a strong college transcript. The more credits you earn, the slower your grade point moves up or down. So you want to start with it high, and then the more classes you take, if you do hit that tough class that maybe you get a C in that you normally don't get C's, it's not going to bring your GPA down much at all. Okay? So it's safe to say that succeeding in college is a good thing, right? I don't think anyone would argue with that. Some things to think about. What does it take to succeed in college? We asked students to report, just answer that question. What does it take to succeed in college? And then we looked for common terms and words. And what you'll notice from this list is no one said you have to be smart. Okay, so if we look at the list again, and it shows up in red here, think about how many of these are actions. These are things that you can do. And if you're not doing them now in high school, you can start doing them this year. Okay, so in this case, things such as staying focused in class. Don't sit in the back row and chat with your buddies. Stay focused in class. Take notes. Take a lot of notes until you're sure that you're taking enough notes, okay? Studying, finding time to study when you don't have college classes is important. Get organized. Maybe you never had to worry about that. Now you're going to have to come up with a plan, okay? Be prepared. Do your work in advance. Turn in your work on time. Have a good attitude and so on, okay? So most of these are actions that you can do to help yourself succeed in college. And it is your actions. It's not coming in smart. In most cases, it's what you do over the next few years that's going to make a difference whether you succeed or not. So some of the things the middle college does, and specifically beyond just offering that support and things that I included in another presentation, you're going to take College Success. That's a 2-credit hour class. You're going to learn note-taking, reading strategies, study strategies. Also, you're going to do some things related to motivation and identifying career goals. So that's SD 140. We offer success sessions. They're required, actually, so to say we offer them. You have to attend them. But they're on important topics that are going to help you succeed in your college classes. We're providing individual guidance and mentoring to students. Some of you will be subject to required check-ins when needed, and that's when your grades are suffering and they're too low. We're going to require that you come in once a week, maybe once every couple of weeks, to check in with one of our academic advisors. Your educational development plan, which many of you are creating or have been at the high school, helps you focus where you're going. So that's a way of, if you know your goals, you can use your EDP and career cruising to identify what courses you need, what college you want to go to, and so on. We share all kinds of information via email, our website, and so on. More on the middle college website later. I'm not going to go into that right now, but there's going to be all kinds of support posted there. I think that ends this just for now. Okay, just a few more slides to go, and with all the information that you've gotten in the 3 video presentations that you've looked at, I wouldn't be surprised if you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed right now, but I just want to leave you with some information to give you some confidence that you can do this, okay? Last year, in the last 2 or 3 years, we've had over 600 students enrolled in the middle college. That's a lot of students. Their average high school grade point was about a 3.15. So these are not all 4.0 students. We have some students with grade points in the BC range, 2.2, 2.5, and so on. Their average college grade point is 3.0. So that's a B average. So our students are doing well in college classes. As a matter of fact, almost every semester, including last winter semester, about 1/3 of the grades were A- or A. So of all the classes all the middle college students took, and there were thousands, about 1/3 of those grades were A- or A. Another third were in the B range, B, B+, and some B-. So 2/3 of the grades were B or above. You can do this, okay? 11th graders in particular are awesome. They earn almost all the credits they attempt. In other words, they pass the classes. And most students, by far, return for a second and third year, which is way above the normal college retention rate. Students could return to their high school if they wanted, but they realize they can do it, they enjoy it. Yes, it's work, but they keep at it and have some great accomplishments when they're all done. So they're just like you. And if you ask for help and accept it when you need it, there's no way you're going to fail. You can do this. We talked a little bit about the recurring themes that students had heard over the orientation. A couple of things just to leave you with. This is some information, data from graduates of the Blue Water Middle College. And one thing, it's about getting help and what kinds of help. And these are students who've been through 3 years. And in this case, what this says right in the middle, this tutoring at the college, that 20% of the students took advantage of the tutoring at least once or twice a week. And even this down here, these students a few times a year went to tutoring. So over 50% of the students use some kind of tutoring over the course of the year. So don't be shy about that. Did they find it helpful? In this case, if you look at right here, tutoring at the college, most students by far felt that when they went, it was helpful to them. One other thing I want to point out is the value of studying with other students. Our veteran students talk about study groups, not just with middle college students, but any student in their class. And it could be older folks, younger folks, or whatever, but most of them found studying with students, or they did that several times a year, and look at how valuable they found that. 80% of the students found it valuable. So look for other people in your classes to study with. Get into groups, whether it's just 2 or 3 of you or 6 or 7. You can meet in the library or at a coffee shop or something like that. The number of students that used office hours for their instructors, almost all the students did that. The only reason this is a 0 is because this is if it was not available. In this case, all the instructors make themselves available, and most of the students by far saw their instructor outside of the classroom for help during what's called office hours, at least a few times a year, if not once or twice a month. Okay, so make sure you use your instructor as a great resource, not just to sit into class or sitting in class and hearing them lecture. Go to their office hours. Get personalized help. Okay, and finally, last slide is classes began August 21st. Labor Day, there is no class on Monday, September 4th. The first 2 success sessions, September 8th and October 6th. You should get a schedule of our success sessions and check email. I'll send out reminders. And then early alert grades available October 2nd. Winter registration opens on October 30th. You'll be prepared for that. And that is it. And you'll be able to get your books. Okay, so thank you.